Growing up, I didn't even realize that there is such a thing as the German stare. For me, it is more awkward that a lot of Americans especially seem to have an issue with looking at people. So to me, that was totally weird when I entered social media, especially the land of the cringe, TikTok. I found out that other people in other places of the world, especially North America, right, find it cringe to look at people for longer than, I don't know, half a second. I don't know what is your comfort timing, but for a German, I mean, how do you make out any detail? You want to see what this person is wearing, that you find interesting at the bus or something. If I see someone and they have a nice coat, I mean, yeah, I know I'm in my PJs right now, but come on, it's YouTube. Also, I have a main channel. Check out my main channel if you are not bored of my face yet. So I would want to see, for instance, the label. Like the number one reason why I stare at somebody, like it's just looking, like get the fuck over it. So the number one reason why I'm looking at people in like public transport or something is because they have nice clothing. So I want to make out the label, and then I'm going to try and be sneaky and like, maybe I can look at my phone. I have this phone here. I can look at my phone. Urban Outfitters. No thanks. Stuff like that. All the time. I got my favorite backpack, actually, and my husband's backpack, and a bunch of coats and a bunch of pants and shirts, just because I saw other people wearing the brand. If I hadn't looked at them for longer than 1 fucking second, I would have never made out that logo. So, less cute clothing for me. Which is not good. I don't want that. I want cute clothing. If I see somebody wearing something cute, I want to copy that. No, I don't care if we wear the same thing. Practicality. That's the German-ness in one word. Like if you're an Ausländer and you want to act more German, just be more practical and do the trick. So that's the number one reason for me to stare at other people. Other than that, it's just like Germans are probably just naturally nosy and we love gossip. Even the good gossip, not just ugly shit. Like who's dating who's picked up a new hobby and potentially sucks at it. It's just normal social interest in others to see where you stand in a society, what's a trend, stuff like that. And to kind of stay on top of what is going on in a weird way. The thing is that you are actually told as a kid often that it's not polite to stare. I tell my kid that and I'm like, hey, don't look at this person just because they look different, or don't look at this person for so long. Or if I want to say something nasty about some, I don't know, cringy motherfucking Spießer mom at the rink behind their back to my kid, and I'm gonna be like, hey, don't look, but we're talking about this, not motherfucker, mother. Yeah, there are a lot of really, really weird, toxic people in figure skating. But it's our sport, and I love it. So at some point you understand that it's a little bit rude to stare, but I think just the comfort duration for Germans is a little bit higher than in other places of this planet. TikTok and other social media apps also seem to be obsessed with staring at the gym and talking to people at the gym. Well, to me, I can't talk for every other German, but I've been going to the gym for a while now, and I see it on occasion that guys help out other guys and chicks with their weight training and, setting the bar correctly, whatever. And I've experienced that myself. A guy came over, like one of these really muscular dudes, and he came over and he said, like, hey, you're doing this exercise wrong because your wrists are doing this, you're supposed to do this, go strong. And I'm like, cool, thanks. There's no need for, oh, I'm such a tiny little fragile woman. How dare you talk to me at the gym for longer than 2 seconds? And you also laid eyes on my chest by accident. How dare you? I'm not into that shit. As long as somebody doesn't come over, be stinking, be staring, be wasting my time and talking to me for, 15 minutes about stuff that I didn't ask, and then makes comments about my body, unless that is happening. And I mean negative comments. Positive, yeah, I take them. Unless that is happening, I think it's perfectly fine. And I think this whole sensitivity thing that is going on with some people on social media being like, oh, nobody ever talked to me, that's cringe. It's normal to talk to people. We got this thing going on in our faces. You know what it's used for? All right? Also, talking to strangers on the bus, not weird. Not weird. This new generation, and maybe my generation too, because we're anxiety-ridden weirdos. I'm a millennial. I'm born in 1984. We have made it cringe. It's not inherently naturally cringe. It's normal, especially like me. I see this now that I have a kid. Striking up a conversation, so much easier when you have a kid. Or a dog, I've been told. But I'm not a dog owner, I'm a cat person. Of course she's a cat person. What did you think? I live in Munich. I don't have space for a fucking dog. Also, dogs naturally just hate me. I guess I'm a weird cat lady. But if you have a kid and you're in public and your kid does something cute or says something weird or funny, everyone is looking at you with their smiles. You know, that is really the one thing that gets all sorts of people talking to you in a friendly way, even if they're total strangers and they would absolutely not be interested in striking up a conversation with you otherwise. And of course, 99.9% of these conversations do not lead to any kind of acquaintance. But I think there is a beauty in that too, because sometimes you just want to have a nice conversation for the nice conversation. There is a purpose in socializing, as in there is a purpose in being social with others on a daily basis, practicing being friendly to strangers and just spreading niceness. All right, the more we do that, the better. And the more idiots go on social media being like, and it's so awkward to talk to other people, don't do that. Fuck you. Piss the fuck off and sit the fuck at home at your boring, sad little home office and be there and don't go out to other humans ever again, okay? Go to your little fucking work cave and just stay there. Order in, get fat, piss off of public transport. But don't make it miserable for everyone else. Don't guilt trip everyone else. There are still a bunch of normal people who can actually uplift the society a little, be friendly in public, and talk to each other. And yeah, we don't want to have it made cringe by some dumbass who doesn't get it. If you don't get it, if it's not for you, that's fine. Since when has it become okay to just make other people feel bad about something as normal as social behavior? There is not a fine line between being social and being intrusive. It's a very, very broad, thick, and clear line. Sitting in public, exchanging a friendly look, seeing somebody read a book, being like, oh, that looks like a cool book. What is it about? And the other person answering, well, it's about this and that. Interesting. And then you go your separate ways. That's normal. Oh, what is that book? Oh, tell me more. Oh, can I have your number? Weird. Clear fucking line. All right? So I don't get how a lot of people now mistake friendliness and outgoingness for social awkwardness. The opposite is the case. To never be friendly and outgoing, to never talk to other people, especially like in public areas. That is weird. We are supposed to do that. It's healthy for us. It's good for us. Keep doing that. I've actually made a TikTok video about that, I think, and there were so many Germans, young Germans, being like, don't do that. Don't tell people to do that. It's awkward. It's going to get them in trouble. Yeah, there is always awkwardness in everything social that you do. There will always be people who just don't vibe with you. But if you never risk that, you're going to be a fucking loner for the rest of your life. Do you want that or not? It's your decision to make. Anyway, back to the stare. I cannot tell you like from how many seconds on it becomes an awkward stare, but it probably also has to do with your face. If you're like drooling and looking at, I don't know, you're a guy, you're looking at the lady like, Yeah, I don't know. But I also think that people who watch a video like this one, they probably already get it. And the ones who don't, they will never quite get it. Not even if you send them 10 different videos that explain what an awkward stare is. They just won't get it. Maybe they're just socially weird. So I think it's important to keep in mind that most people who look at you on a train, they're just normal Germans. They stare because they're nosy. They stare because you look different. That's why they look at you. By definition, in a public space, you cannot intrude someone else's privacy unless you start reading their messages on their screen. But if your messages, like you're sitting side to side with someone else and your messages are like this, you gave up your privacy, all right? If you are having beef with your spouse in public and you're talking on the phone and having a marriage fight, that's on you. Everyone else is going to be listening. Everyone else is going to be like, I'm glad I'm not that asshole. And you're the asshole. So if you do that, do not expect privacy. especially in Bavaria. Personally, I don't get it. I think it's like high road to mind your own business. And when I lived in Berlin, nobody gave a fuck. Everyone was just fucking abgestumpft. Nobody would care if there was like some drug addict couple fighting on the trails. I mean, unless somebody falls over and gets hit by a train, you just like, okay, whatever, another Tuesday. But in Bavaria, oh, that is a whole different game. If you just talk too loudly in a fucking public area, they're gonna be like, können Sie bitte ein bisschen leiser reden? Ich will das jetzt nicht hören. Mi. Muss man das in der Öffentlichkeit besprechen? Ich bin so viel besser als du. Yeah, by the way, my hot take on people who never fight in whatever relationship, I just think they don't have to say anything to each other anymore. That's why. Ew, you're not better. You're worse. I mean, with whatever number of 1-digit % exceptions who don't count and only prove the rule even more. So yeah, if you're a foreigner, you live in Germany, you feel like people are staring at you, just stare right back. They go like this, you go like that. Just maybe don't raise your eyes like I just did, like a total psycho. Like, don't do that. Just do like, I acknowledge you. Okay, we're cool. I just want to know what your jacket is. Maybe you ask them. Like, if you're totally crazy confident that day, you just go like, hey, where's that coat from? Entschuldigung? Was ist denn das für eine Marke von dem Mantel? Der sieht echt cool aus. Ich hätte auch gern so einen. Echt? 100% reaction all the time. 100%. Not 99, 100%. Done that so many times, as I said. A lot of my outdoor wear, inspiration from the subway, from the S-Bahn, from the bus. Just by asking total strangers what their attire is. 100% of the time the reaction was, danke, ja, also der ist von der und der Marke. Den habe ich schon total lange, den habe ich bei Vinted gekauft. Das ist mein Lieblingsmantel. Freu. Everyone's happy. Get the fuck over it. Just don't be awkward about it. And it's going to be fine. It's going to be harder. It's going to be harder if you're an Ausländer. It's just the way it is. But you're gonna make it work. Don't be afraid of others. And if you get rejected or you get a weird look or a weird reaction, then try to find out why that is. Are you coming across as sleazy, weird, or needy? Neediness is the #1 turnoff. Don't ever be fucking needy. Also, don't take it like some weird challenge as in to practice with strangers. If you don't have a reason, don't fucking talk. But if you do have a reason, and just your anxiety is keeping you from talking to that person, but you see something interesting about them, you want to talk to them, or you want to look at them, just do it. It's just a look. Es ist nicht strafbar, jemanden anzugucken. Es ist normal. It's also better for your posture to not just look into your phone. And by that being said, just for the few idiots who still don't get it, of course I am not telling you to weirdly stare at people for extended periods of time. The whole point of the video is to say there's a difference between a sleazy stare and an interest stare, and the German stare is usually an interest stare or a force of habit. But there are sleazy Germans just like there are sleazy people all over the world. End of video.